I'm Jason Wygant. Calm before the storm here. We had a lot of racing actually today on a Friday due to the Moto Scouting Combine for the first time this year, and a lot of the top riders in Saturday's event were all part of press day, including some who we haven't seen the last few weeks, but we'll talk to them in this edition of the show. Jason Anderson and Chase Sexton, welcome back to Pro Motocross. We'll catch up with Talon Hawkins, a couple others like Adam Cianciarulo as well, and give you footage of what the press day riding and combine look like. So get ready for your weekend preview.
Yeah, obviously my neck's feeling a lot better. Realistically, whenever I crashed, I didn't even know it was like that as hurt as it was, but it just never felt better. And so I got it checked out, and it was ended up being hurt. And it's nice to be back, you know, just being on the couch and not doing anything and watching people race. You know, obviously, like the first 2 weekends when you're hurt, you're not stressing it too much. But then when you see a new series start and you see everyone racing and having stuff to do on the weekends, you know, when you're hurt, it's like I'm chilling on the couch just healing, and it's not like I could go like do anything fun, you know. I'm just kind of broken, but yeah, I'm excited. We'll see how it goes.
So during your time off, I know you're a new dad. It probably had to be pretty nice to kind of get a little time to spend with the family. So take me through kind of how that was for like the mental side of things. It must have been kind of, you know, a bit of a relief to have a little time with them.
Oh, 100%. You know, I don't think I would have been able to spend as much time with my little girl, especially in the early stages, you know, without being hurt. It's tough that our sport takes so much of our time, but in that sense, you know, it was kind of, you know, it was the positives of it.
We're gonna have some fun this weekend?
Yeah, I'm excited. Should be a good weekend, and we'll see how it goes.
Chase, I think I speak for everyone when we say we're glad to see you back at the races this weekend. Obviously, health comes first, and we had that kind of break there, so it's a pretty appropriate round for you to return. Did this being a hometown race and obviously having the good vibes from the Motocross of Nations last year kind of come into play to returning at this round?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously had a couple weeks off there, and High Point would have been iffy if I could have came back, but since we had a week off after that, this one seemed to fit perfect, it being RedBud and being my home race. So yeah, looking forward to it. I had some time off that I definitely needed, and I feel like I'm way more prepared now than when I came into the first round. But for some reason, coming in after Supercross, I felt super just unprepared and wasn't really gelling with the bike, and obviously went down, so it set me back. But I think this time off really helped me, and I think you'll see a different guy coming tomorrow.
Obviously you had the practice crash and knocked the head a little bit, and then it came out a little bit later, but that you had mono. Mono tends to kind of linger around, so kind of like on a percentage scale, how are we doing coming into this weekend, and how have you been feeling on the bike?
Yeah, really the reason I sat out was because of hitting my head. I crashed at Paul on Saturday. I felt decent. I didn't feel 100% myself, and then I actually ended up falling over on Tuesday after that and kind of hit my head a little bit again, and I didn't even crash hard, just kind of smacked it. And after that one, I'm like, dude, I don't feel right. I tried to ride again after that, and I was like, yeah, this isn't it. So took some time off for that, and then now coming into this race, I feel, like I said, a lot better. I started riding last week, so I had one full week of riding, and then going into this week, I had a couple days on the bike. So feeling good, and back to somewhat of a similar setup to what I had last year, and I feel good.
Adam, it seems like every week we just keep getting a little better and better. What do you think is contributing mainly to like the steady gains that we're seeing from week to week?
I mean, I'm really confident with my ability. Obviously, we have this injury that holds me back, and sometimes I don't know what I'm going to get. I think those first two races, Fox Raceway and Hangtown, they were a bit choppy, like harder tracks, and that's a little bit more difficult with my grip strength situation. So yeah, I mean, I think we've been putting in really good work during the week, and a little more comfortable on the bike, and also just getting more time on outdoors. You know, I hadn't really put in a lot of work on outdoors in a couple years. So, and you know, we basically spend 8 months of the year riding Supercross. So, coming along with the bike myself, and yeah, just gonna try to keep chipping away.
Good weekend at High Point. Obviously, got on the podium, and you can't help but notice that the connection with the fans is just one of a kind. It feels as if, you know, you got on the podium, that they were on the bike with you. It must be an amazing feeling to feel like that you have such a strong fan base behind you. And it's just, as soon as you walk up on the podium, I mean, it's just clear how much everyone's there, and they're so stoked to see you up there. So kind of just take me through how it is to have that connection with the fans, because it really is pretty rare within the sport, for sure.
Yeah, I pinch myself like all the time, man, because I am really genuine, just such a fan of the sport, and growing up watching guys like Kevin Windham, Jeremy McGrath that had that connection with the fans. I think it's part of one of my favorite things about the job. Is kind of leaving a positive impact on people and giving people something to root for. And it's not something I shy away from. I like the I guess just genuine human connection like that. Just I'm kind of just an entertainer, and I buy into that fully. So it's really, I'm very lucky to have that, and even it seems like no matter what place I get, they're cheering for me all around the track. Even at Fox Raceway, the first round, it's like 40 seconds behind fourth place, and they were just screaming for me the whole way around. And that's what it's all about. That's what I'm going to remember years from now.
Good vibes this weekend, 4th of July weekend at RedBud. We're going to keep it rolling, right?
Absolutely, man. I walked in today. I was so excited to see my bike. Cowie did a great job with the, I'll always do the American flag thing. Got cool gear sets, and yeah, these fans are great. So I'm excited.
Talon, how we feeling? We kind of have a full month of racing under your belt now. Does that kind of give you some more reassurance for the rest of the year? You had that little break there to kind of reset.
Yeah. So that little break was not super nice. A little bit of time off. Well, not time off, but a little bit more time to fine tune the training and my form. I got to work on a lot of stuff, but this whole racing thing's been pretty cool. The pro races are definitely gnarly, but it's been something that I'm having fun doing, and I like getting the experience, being on this track with all the top guys, and it's been a cool experience so far.
New to the Pro Motocross Series last year, they added the combines. They ran one here last year at RedBud, and I know that you raced it. How do you like RedBud, and how did you feel about the combine system and kind of running those throughout the year? And how does that kind of play into this weekend with the confidence being back at a track that you raced last year? Yeah,
it's sick. The combine thing was a super cool setup for this, because we do pretty much the same exact schedule as what the pros do, as the pro races. So it was cool to be able to kind of get my feet wet, get the same feeling of what it's going to be like, because if I didn't do that, I would have came into this year having no idea. I would have came into the pro races having no idea what to expect. So it was cool to have that little reassurance of, okay, I kind of know what's going to happen.
If you had to say, if you could pick one thing that you think is your biggest kind of fault going on right now, what do you think that would be?
I think I'm struggling a little bit in the sand. I'm not much of a sand rider. I've ridden hard packed my whole life, but being out at the Baker's factory, we've been working on sand a lot. That's pretty much, there's a lot of sand out there. So I think that's what my biggest downfall is. I need to work on that right now. Obviously, we got Southwick coming up next weekend, so better get ready for that, but we're working on it.
Yeah, we got that string of a couple sand races coming up, but should be a good one.
Yeah.
You said in the past that you kind of like the more squatted or choppered out bike setup, and that seems to be kind of the setup for the sandier stuff, just because it gives the front end a little lighter. Do you think that being more of a rear end steerer kind of gives you an advantage when you get into conditions like this?
Yeah, in some places, yeah, but it also can hurt too. But I definitely feel like my bike setup for this track is really good right now, and I feel like we're going to do some damage tomorrow.